chicken. That one doesn't change. Okay, that one's easy. How about yang rou? What's that? Oh. Yang rou. What is that? What is it? Sheep. Sheep or lamb. Actually, he's quite correct. Lamb or mutton. So it's one of those words just like with beef and cow or pork and pig. Sheep is the animal. Now we have to be very clear. In Chinese, it's xiang or xianyang, right? We have completely different words for this. This is yang only. So sheep, and that's going to be, if it's a baby, it's going to be lamb. But if it's older, mutton. Mutton, older meat, older animal. It's mutton. I like both, but many people don't like it. By the way, since you're going, well, Russ, if that's a yang is sheep, what's a goat? Well, I just went to the answer, right? So xianyang is goat. Okay, and they really have a strong flavor. Maybe you say they go, wait, I want one, right? So we say goat. What's called goat? Goat. Yeah, that's xianyang. But most people don't eat goats, but you'll see lamb or mutton consumed here in Taiwan. My wife doesn't like it, so we don't eat much at home. But hey, I hope you had a good time. I put something in Google Classroom for us today, and I'm going to look at it. I want to do some vocabulary review with you guys. Is everybody here? I suppose we should do DMing. Could anyone volunteer to do DMing for me? Is anyone missing? I should probably do that. Can you be my volunteer? Who's missing? This person's working at home? Is anybody missing? Okay, why don't we mark them? Who's missing? If you're not here, raise your hand. Okay. All right, so she's going to mark us for it. All right, so what I want to focus on today is we've been working in your PBQC books on dialogue, and I have the book open. So let's get your PBQC books out. Let's get your books out. Your book looks like this. Is that right? Everyone have one? And what we want to focus on. Well, look, we're in part one. I want to wrap up part one. The first part of part one. I made a summary for us. So we were looking at this vocabulary last week. I'm going to start new ones today. I wrote something for you, and I'm just going to provide it. It's in Google Classroom. You don't have to spend a lot of time on this because it's already here. I pasted it here, but it's also in a Google Docs for you. It's a practice worksheet. And thank you, Beverly. We don't need you right now. So, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this. I wrote some additional examples for you. Can you see in the back? Can you guys see in the back? Can you see? So, we talked about never late. Hi. Oh, no, come in. Please come in. Have a seat. What does never late mean? Let's talk about this. Two different words. I call them a phrase because it means there's two or more words here. So, by themselves, what does never mean by itself? Not often. Either never means never. Never happens, or right? Late is 迟到, right? So Russ is normally I'm never late for your class unless I get lost. So get lost. I am never late for class. I'm never late. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Maybe you guys can see that. How about that? I'm never late. Now my cat, her name is Mia. My cat is never late for her dinner. She's pretty good at that. Okay, yeah. I need somebody to make a sentence for me. I want to practice. This is your English class, not just mine. So I'm cleaning my little wall. What I want to do, I want to pick a volunteer. The volunteer is going to make a sentence for me. Now, we can help the volunteer. All right? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by his tail, 50 hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny. Ha-ha, you're in the corner. Ready? Catch the ball. Here it comes. Woo-hoo. All right, stand up. Who are you? Tell me your name.
My name is Sunny.
Hi, Sunny. How are you? Hi. Okay, Sunny. So we're going to use never late. Can you think of a sample sentence, something we can make a sentence with? You're never late. When are you never late? Go to show you never late for something. When is it? When are you never late? How about this? I'm never late for Russ. Russ's class. Russ's class. Oh, thank you. Okay. All right. Thanks, son. Now, never late. You can use this a lot. It's something you're never late for. Never late. How about on time? What's on time? Okay, so these are very related. They're related. On time. It's always important to be on time for a meeting, to never be late. Basically, I included both items here because they're very similar. Dr. Bush, well, on time. On time. This is also saying never late, but it means, like, for example, it's important that trains are on time. They can't be late. Or the plane leaves on time. Is the plane on time today? That means, is it going to be late? Let me tell you, airplanes are often late, but not trains. Trains in Taiwan are usually on time. Can we, I need a volunteer. Can we make it on time sentence? In the back. Coming your way. The guy. Ready? Pitch. Stand up. Who are you? Hey, William. How you doing? Good Friday to you. So, can you think about sometime on time? Something we could use with on time. How about when you wait for the bus? Do you take a bus to school?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so 早上的时候你上公车, right? All right, so when you're on a bus, when you're waiting for the bus, 你想要那个公车车到吗? No. So I hope the bus is on time. Good. All right. I hope the bus is on time because sometimes with buses they're not always on time. Awesome. Yeah, that's the problem with buses. But we need them. We love buses. Okay. I changed the third one. I didn't kind of like what was in the book. Again, it's here, guys. If you're wondering where I'm at and why I'm doing this, this is all here. It's actually down here, specifically on page 1-5. We've got job evaluation or performance evaluation. We're more likely going to hear that in the United States as performance evaluation. I'm not sure job evaluation, but performance evaluation. So let's focus on the word performance. This is hard. 大家跟我说 performance.
Performance.
Yeah, many syllables in it. Performance.
Performance.
Okay, so my supervisor gave me an excellent performance evaluation. Evaluation is like a test. I'm going to get a grade. And here at Jingwen, or excuse me, at school, here at Art Guangjing, we actually have performance evaluations. We're even doing that right now. So, this case, you get a performance evaluation. I used job evaluation kind of as a little joke. A politician got a poor job evaluation from the citizens. What's a politician? Do you vote here in Taiwan for who's in government? Tsai Zhong-tong, did someone vote for her? People voted for her. You have democracy in this country. She was elected as your president, okay? Maybe you didn't vote for her, but people voted for her. So also sometimes politicians get a poor evaluation from the citizens. They didn't re-elect him. Yes. We have a guy named Trump in the United States, Donald Trump. He's no longer president. He got a poor evaluation. You had a mayor in Kaohsiung at some time. Things happen like this. This is democracy. It's kind of cool. That's the time I would think about job evaluation. We don't see it a lot. Be required to. This one's a little tricky. Be required to.
Be required to.
This one's a little bit fun. In Taiwan, we are required to wear masks. Now notice I didn't say be. The be verb is used a lot in English, but we don't have to say be all the time. And in Taiwan, we are required to wear a mask when going outside. I'm wearing a mask now. And this one's a question. Will we be required to sing at the karaoke club? Russ, I can't sing, okay? So, be required to. I need to do a volunteer for me. In the back. Picking on people's back. I shouldn't pick on people. Hi. How you doing? Can you help me? Can you help me? There you go. Stand up. What's your name? What's your name? Jenny. Hey, Jenny. Nice to meet you again. So, Jenny, can you help me out? We're going to say be required to. What else are you required to do as a student? You guys just did it for me. You gave me mienzi a while ago. Everybody stood up and what? You spoke to the teacher. Okay? So in Taiwan, you are required to greet the teacher, right? We did that. You say, can you say this? We are required to greet the teacher. Yeah, good. You did great. Give Jenny, man. Good job. Yeah. All right, so be required to. Now, happy with is a little different. This is not something I must do, it's something I want to do. So the clerk says, I'll give you an example. The clerk says to the customer, would you be happy with the red dress or the sky blue dress? Sky blue is kind of blue, like the sky outside, sky blue. Or would you be happy with the red dress or the sky blue dress? This is not must. Sure, eating, sure, right? This is a choice. So happy with really means, are you happy with the situation? And then we can use it for lots of things. Are you happy with school? Are you happy with the color of the dress? Are you happy with your boyfriend or girlfriend? Whatever. Or the food. Who can make a sentence for me? Any volunteers? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by his toe. Hippie, holler, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny. In the middle. Ready, buddy? Here it comes. Coming your way. Woo! Hey, stand up. What's your name? Hey, Jake? Is it Jake? JK. Got it, JK. Sorry. My mistake. All right, so JK. Let's look at this one. Can you help me out with it? Happy with. Can you tell me something you're happy with? How about I'm happy with? You like school? Are you enjoying school? So how about this? I'm happy with school or dancing. You like dancing? You like to dance? You like performance? Yeah, okay, so I'm happy with dance. Okay, so in this case we can use happy with. Remember, with is a conjunction. We're bringing something together with it. Usually a noun. Usually a noun. So we're bringing something. Happy with dance. Happy with school. Good job, buddy. All right, thanks. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. All right. Now I'm going to go through these quickly because we don't have a lot of time. Dress up, and I also use dress down. Dress up, dress down. I'll give you a video in YouTube. I won't do it now for time. I found a pretty good video, but it's in Dutch, okay? But it shows a woman dressing up and dressing down. Dressing up means to dress nice. Okay, dressing down is not to dress as nice. It doesn't mean bad. So, dress up. Do you like to dress up for parties? Now, what? Do you like to dress up? For parties. Sure, Mom, do you? Most people do, right? Dress down usually means you're going to have less formal clothes. Like, I'm wearing a collared shirt. I'm a teacher. You're probably not going to see Russ in a t-shirt. I could be, but I'm kind of a old outfit. Probably wear that won't. I could. Actually, I could. But I probably won't wear shorts. You probably won't see me in shorts because my legs are covered. But the point I'm making is dress up, dress down. Dressing down. I will say this as having been Laoban one time. In business, it's usually better to dress up than to dress down. Dress up, then to dress down is usually better in the business environment. Every day. What does this mean? Yeah, this one's pretty easy, right? So tell me something you do every day. Hi. What's your name? Hi, Ada. Hi, Ada. Question. What do you do every day? Can you tell me something you do every day? Okay, 每天只在校上。Okay, so every day I eat. Awesome. Every day I eat breakfast, right? How many of us do that? Most of us have breakfast in the morning? It's the most important meal. Okay. Give her a hand. Good job. This one, neighborhood, is kind of interesting. I'd probably use it in a different way. So we are at Zhuangjing, right? High school. And we could say, right? The area around Zhuangjing. That is kind of saying neighborhood in English. So I live at Ankang. I could say, 我在住在安上路的那边 live in the Anshan Road neighborhood of Ankang, which still we don't know what that means. But if I tell people I work in the area around Zhuangjing High School, people know this. So neighborhood. We can also use some other examples. I wrote one here. What neighborhood are you from in Taipei or Xinbei or Jilong or wherever? Taoyuan. I live near the Songshan Station neighborhood. So this is kind of the area around. So nice what neighborhood. Neighborhood. This one's pretty easy. Work hard. This one's pretty easy too. Work hard. So again, we're doing two words here. Judy works hard as a food panda delivery person. That means she delivers us food, but she likes her job. It's fun. Works hard. Now Russ likes working hard, but I also teach you to what? Work smart. In your life, you'll work hard. I will teach you to work smart too, because better to work smart, because if you're working hard and smart, everybody wins. If you work hard, maybe you're not as productive as you could be. You may not be doing as well. Work hard. Next. Study. This one got two meanings. The most basic one is the Chinese "du," like, you like to study?
No.
Okay, it's honest. 我知道, right? 晚上你在学英语, right? You like to study English, right?
Yeah.
Sure. No, he doesn't. Okay. Tell me your name. What's your name? Hey, Kevin. All right, Kevin. So study. In this case, what do you like to study? You like to study How about dance? I think you probably like dance.
Yeah.
Arts. You guys are performance arts majors. Okay, that's cool. So Kevin likes to study the arts, dance, music. Fair? Is it true? Okay, cool. Now let's have, good job. Give him another one. Whoa! Thank you, Kevin. Let me give you another one. This is not as obvious, and I don't know what your book really covered, but this study means to consider a problem. So I wrote it in italics. Scientists from around the world are studying the effects of global warming and how the world can reverse this issue. Again, I'll be giving this, it's already in your Google Classroom. But this means to consider and for a difficult problem. Or was I getting in Censor 1? Thai B. I'm going to give you 30,000 Thai B. And you have to buy Shoji. Do you buy Samsung? Do you buy Apple? You have to what? Study this issue. Doesn't mean you're like, Sister Khan, I have to think about this. You don't know. Because you must study this issue. There's good and bad points for both. Next, overtime. This was easy. Mom and dad at home. How many hours does your mom and dad normally work? Do you know? 40 hours? 50 hours? How many? How much? Probably at least 8 hours a day, right? So if we do, Russ is terrible in math, okay? You're going to help me. 8 times 5, Monday through Friday is what? Roughly 40-hour weeks. Now we know we're in Asia, we're going to work harder than that, but let's say we're doing 40 to 45, that's not a problem. But when I'm moving 60 hours a week, and I've done this because I was Melbourne and was traveling a lot, crazy hours, Monday through Saturday, sometimes I was traveling. Yeah, guess what? 60 hours is pretty easy. That's overtime, you understand? That's more. It's over the amount of time. So I give it here overtime. Jack has a major project coming due. He will be working a lot of overtime. Now, I thought we did dress up. Did we dress up? I repeated it. Shame on me. So we're going to skip dress up every day. I've got 2 of those. Classmates. Classmates. What's classmate? This is easy. You guys are punctual, right? Chinese. The translation's perfect on that. So, classmates. Now, this idea of mate also can be used. When we see this word mate, we can add it to other things. Like, you guys are classmates. These are my teammates. Understand? Yeah. So we use this word mate in English, we can add it. And usually it'll be at the end of the sentence, the end of the word. Classmate, teammate, roommate. What's a roommate? Yeah, person that lives with you, not necessarily related to you. So this you'll see a lot. English have a lot of 部首, kind of little sneaky things like Chinese 部首, right? If you see the word mate, just think about it. Oh, this is related. I want to add it to something. All right, classics. We know what this one. Teacher. You know what teacher is? That's easy. I'm a teacher. But remember this. Teach itself is a verb. In English, we do this sneaky little thing. I take a verb like teach, 教, right? 教你们. I add er. I become a teacher. 烤面包. I become a baker. Get it? You'll see this all the time in English. So that one's too simple. We talked about holidays. Things I want to focus on. We've been talking a little bit about it. Chapter review here. Please open your books. Now in English we can say chapter or unit. In this case, our book, our PDPC book, talks about chapter 1, and that's fine. But oftentimes it's unit, U-N-I-T, 无所谓, it's the same thing. Chapter 1, Unit 1, and then I have to turn to page. What page? Open your books, turn to page 5. Well, I can turn to page 5. There it is. Page 5, Unit 1. Or I can just make one sentence and do it all. Oops. And that is, please turn to page, open your books to Chapter 1, page 5. That's more like what I would do. Questions? Easy. All right, for next vocabulary, I put something together. You guys already knew these words. Your homework, oh no. Guess what you're going to do? You're giving me a sentence each. We've already practiced this. You guys know it. I want you to make your own English sentence with this. Your homework is you're going to write a sentence example per vocabulary item. I'll put it in Google Classroom, and you can't use my sentences. I don't care if you copy and paste and use, maybe you can use like, you can copy and paste classmate if you want and just type your own sentence. Cool? Now you can do this two different ways. You want to work hard or work smart? Which one is it? Smart. You guys use Google Classroom. Guess what you can use? This is Google Docs. I already put it in your Google Classroom. You can copy this, paste it into a new Google Docs, and give it to me as a link. If you don't drop link, you can add a link back to me. Give it back to me. I don't mind. I don't care how you do the assignment. You can record it, make an audio recording, video recording. You can write it by hand, or you can, I think, just type it. It's fine. Cool? I'll put this in Google Classroom. It'll be due next Friday before class. Questions? All right, last thing. I want to jump into the new vocabulary. I have another Google Docs. I have not published this to you, though. And I put this together today for you because I knew we would have some spare time. This is in your book. We're moving on to page number 1-7. 1-7. That's actually page 7, Unit 1, right? So we want to talk about these words. I've written them out for you. We'll look at these first. Let's practice pronouncing them first, okay? They're going to go called common. Common, okay? Alphabet. Vocabulary. Now that's what we're learning. So it's like this, yeah. Sentence. Okay, obviously we have the parts of speech. This is an adjective, sometimes a noun. This is a noun. This is a noun. A sentence is a noun. Grammar is going to be a noun. Grammar. English grammar is not easy. So that's my job, is to help you with that. But once you learn the basic rules, it's not so hard. Difference. Domain. Again, I've written some more detail here, but I just want to look through this because you've got some Chinese to help you. This is also a noun. Focus. Mastery. Response. Okay. Now, let's switch to my Google Docs. I'll probably give this to you this weekend, but you won't have homework. Does that make sense? It'll be just something to see. I want you to work on part 1. This is part 2, or this is unit 1, part 2, so to speak, homework. I want to focus now on that document. So common. I wrote some stuff out here. Unfortunately, it's not going to be big enough. So this is roughly like 普通话or 国语. Something that is normal or usual. Common dialect of Chinese is Mandarin Chinese. We know it in Taiwan as Taiwan 国语, right? The Mandarin Chinese spoken here in Taiwan. Dialects of Chinese include Taiwanese, Taiwanhua, Guangdonghua, or Shanghai dialect. But in China and in Taiwan, the main dialect of Mandarin that's spoke is actually the common language. Right? Common. Common could be as well as other things too. This is a common car in the United States, meaning normal. Bob is a common name in the United States. Actually, William. 它的名字真是 William, 短的名字可能是 Bob. Like I'm Russell, but you guys know me as Russ. All right, alphabet. What's called alphabet?
Alphabet.
Now, alphabet is kind of interesting. So we have different alphabets. In English, we have 26 characters. You already know them. You've been studying them since you were little. I'm going to show Greek. Greek has an alphabet, and we use a lot of Shilawen in English, a lot of Latin as well. It sneaks its way in, and we'll see it. Let's see if I can find it. Give me a second. This is a common Greek, and I'm not teaching you Greek, as well as I can, but this is Greek alpha. We actually pronounce it alpha.
Alpha.
B, beta.
Beta.
Gamma.
Gamma.
Delta.
Delta.
Now, let's remember our good friend that we love so dearly. Why are we wearing masks? 我们戴口罩。为什么我们戴口罩? COVID-19, our good friend. Okay, so when COVID first came out, it was COVID alpha. We use Greek letters often in discussions for everything in scientific. And in Taiwan, Taiwanese scientists do as well. It's considered kind of a baseline. So the one we're worried about in Taiwan, and we had some of this in Taoyuan and in Bento, also we had COVID Delta. This implied that this was probably the 4th generation, right? Alpha, beta, gamma, delta of the. So you're going to see this Greek alphabet a lot in English. Sometimes we use it for storm names, like we have typhoon names. In the United States, we have hurricanes. You'll even see them named. The U.S. have so many, not U.S., but Western Hemisphere. They have A through Z. They have one name for 26, right? 26 storms. Typhoons, you would call them in Asia. They have 26. They run out. They start having to use Greek alphabet letters because there's too many storms this year. All right, that's an alphabet. It's nice one. Alphabet.
Alphabet.
That's not a bad one. So, grammar. It's a little sentence. Sentence. Sentence.
Sentence.
What's a sentence? What's a sentence? Yeah. So a sentence, and this is true in English or Chinese, is basically going to have a subject, like Russ is our teacher. Russ is our teacher. What's the subject of the sentence? Who's the subject? Russ is our teacher. Russ is the teacher, right? Russ is the subject. Okay? Is my verb, right? Our teacher, defining what Russ is. So in this case, a sentence is usually going to have a subject and what's called a predicate. We don't have to study that now. And it's going to have a noun, at least one verb, and usually some adjectives and adverbs, right? That's a sentence. We have them in Chinese as well. 魏老师是我的老师，英文老师。Russ 是我的英文老师。Okay, so it's the same in English or Chinese. Sentence. We make sentences combining verbs, adjectives or ADJs, adverbs. That's what makes sentences fun. When we start adding those adjectives or adverbs, so we don't just say Russ is a teacher. We could say 魏老师好帅的老师吗? Not really, of course not. Russ is a handsome teacher. No, he's not really. But I can add that adjective. That's what makes English fun, is we can say that's a beautiful cat. That car is so graceful. He drives that car so masterfully. In that case, it's a man. Anyway, that's what's fun about English. What's fun about Chinese. So, grammar. That's getting into grammar. All right. So these are the rules. What's what grammar? Grammar. Johnny goes, well, I love English grammar. Okay, it was well, I love Wen Yan Wen. Mean, wasn't I? Okay. English grammar is not easy. But here's the secret. If we learn the basic rules of grammar, then we are able to function. When you don't know the rules, it's hard. Guess whose job it is to teach you the rules? We teachers. And that's our job. So that's why I'm going to focus with you on verbs and adjectives. And I just wrote this today, so it's not as pretty as it should be. Forgive me. But the point I'm getting here is that grammar is what makes up English. And frankly, Chinese. Chinese grammar is easy. But it's what makes language work. Difference. What's what difference? Difference. Now, difference means what? Say, 一样的还是不一样？Yeah. So, what's different? What's different about us? What's different? 你有毛啊？我没有啊。I got that one wrong. I have a lot of hair, okay? I look different than you. It doesn't mean I'm any different. I can give you blood, I'm just like you, but yes, I look weird, okay? Here in Taiwan anyway. That's the difference. My eye color really is blue. Some of you have blue eyes, but that's because you're trying to have blue eyes. Mine, that's the way I was. The point I'm getting at is we have differences. And they're actually what we say superficial, just in looks. But differences are things that make things interesting. Do you like everything to be the same, or do you like a little difference? Yeah, I think so too. I think when we have a little difference in life, it makes it fun. What about you? So you like everything the same, or different? 现在的就是进步是So, can you, let's think about what's different. How am I different than you? 你比我老吗？我比你 Am I older than you? Which is, I am older, right? Am I older? I am older than her, right? That's a comparison, by the way. We haven't got into comparisons. But differences are what is obvious. I look different. I'm also older than you. That's good for you. This one. What's your name? Okay, differences. Domain. This one's tough. This is tough. This is 哪地文 Domain. So remember, I told you we have 能古的故事的希腊文叫 okay? This one is an old Latin word, domina. Domain means, can mean many things. Get out of the way and zoom it up. I realize you can't see in the back. Place, I want it to be a place I live. I can be a place where I live, or a type of knowledge or speciality. We'll get into this in a second. So I got domain first. Let's live this. I live in an urban domain. Let's pick the one that's easiest. I live in an urban domain. I live in New York City. First of all, I live in an urban domain. I live in New York City. So anybody from Yonghe, Zhonghe? Anybody? Yonghe, Zhonghe have a lot of people, right? It's kind of densely packed. So we could say Yonghe and Zhonghe definitely are urban domain. Okay, a lot of people there in a small area. We say high population density. That domain means the style of our living. We do use this for a living condition. This one's, I am out of my domain of knowledge. I don't understand how COVID infects others, people. I am not a medical scientist. No, I'm not. But I do know that I have to wear a mask. I know you have to wear a mask. We try to be careful, right? But in this case, domain of knowledge. Domain of knowledge means what you are expert at. What is your expertise? What do you guys do? You dance. Guess who can't dance? Russ cannot dance. You do not want to see Russ dance, nor do you want to see Russ sing at all. It's horrible. Do not take me to karaoke. Ugh. Although anybody can sing Elvis Presley or the Beatles, especially loud. The point I'm getting at is that you got to be careful with your domains. Your domain is that you're good at dance. You're good at singing. I'm not. That's not my domain. I like to talk. My wife says I like to John Locke. She's correct. But my domain of knowledge is not, I'm not really good at singing or dancing. Domain can also be a speciality, a physical speciality. I could say a dancer, not only are they technically proficient, they have natural ability to do this. This is their domain. So we say that. So I swap domain. Domain. Also, sometimes we talk about animals. I'm thinking about it. This lion, the domain of the lions. The domain of the lions is mainly in Africa, although India has one area where we still have Asian lions in India. That's the domain of the lion. Focus. What's called focus? Focus. What is focus? Focus means this. Johnson. I'm focusing on him. My eyes are adjusting as I get closer. My eyes are adjusting. If I take my glasses off, I can't see you so well. I can't focus, right? Focus means to see, and our eyes actually adjust, right? They adjust. Focus. It's physical. So focus have two ways. It's a physical and non-physical use. The most easy one is focus. We'll focus on something. I'll look at it. Focus on, if you will, focus on this. So I could say, you can focus your attention on Mona Lisa. Who's Mona Lisa? Who's Mona Lisa? Mona Lisa. See if I can find Mona Lisa. She's here. There she is. All right, we look at Mona Lisa. She is in the Louvre Museum in Paris. You must go to the Louvre. But don't go Mondays. It's closed. Beautiful. We always focus on her smile. We always focus on Mona Lisa's smile. So that's a physical focus. We're focusing on eyes. But they have another type of focus, and that is more about non-physical. The reporter asks the police officer, who is the focus of the investigation? Let's say that there's a murder. You know, murder means to kill 3 people. And around the world, the murder of other people is one of the worst crimes any human can do to another. So if the police are investigating a murder, then a reporter may say, can you tell me the focus of the investigation? This means not seeing, but what are the police thinking? Is this one murderer or many? Where are you thinking of investigating? Who is the suspect? You'll often hear the word focus of investigation. This means to think. Mastery. What's called mastery? Mastery is different. Mastery is a tough one. Mastery is something that we do to learn to a degree of excellence or extreme competence. What did I just say? It means like, now, I've been driving for a long time, longer than you've been alive, because I've been driving in the United States for over 30 years. I drive a car in Taiwan, but when I moved to Taiwan, I got a chichu. I had to get a license in Taiwan to allow me to drive a motor scooter. I had to master that license, that test. The test is physical, and there's a written test. It wasn't easy. So that's kind of mastery. I had to master the test. In this case, I have mastery to drive a motor scooter. Do you have, and we often use it in past tense. You'll see it, have you mastered driving a car? How old are you guys? 17? So next year, you could get motor scooter license, right? 18? 18. Next year, you'll be 18, right? So how many of you want to master a motor scooter? Anybody? It's okay if you do, but just be careful. You have to be careful. Okay. I sound like your mom. Last one's response. Response. Now this one's, I use an example. example. So let's say, what is the response when you see a mouse under your bed? So I'm walking along and I say, "Oh, 这里有老鼠啊." And she goes, "Ah!" She screamed. All right, that's her response. Response can be physical. It can also be something that's not so physical. Maybe it's written. For example, one government could respond to another government without actually physically doing it. Or you may write a response. This was a good movie. This was a bad movie. That's a response. But most cases, when we see a mouse, we're probably going to scream. Not me, right? Do you guys like mice? By the way, let's practice something. In English, it's a little different than Chinese. So we have 小老鼠, 大老鼠, right? In Chinese. Like, in English, we have mouse or rat. And rat's a completely different animal. But rat's pretty smart. They say they're very good pets. Anybody have a rat? Pet rat? I don't have a house. Oh, 老鼠. You say 老鼠? So, but do you say for a little mouse, what would you say? Yeah, you just say, Actually, the word shu in Chinese is used for lots of stuff. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is the response. Responses can be physical or they can be non-physical. Guys, we covered a lot of territory today. It is closing, right? What time's past in? Am I late? I'm always late. What time? You go to 50? You go to 50? Okay, all right. So we can keep going. Any questions? Russ has covered a lot of territory. All right, I'll put this part 2 in Google Classroom for you, but it won't be homework. I want you to start thinking, using your book, because your book has definitions in Chinese. I want you to start thinking, and you can give me sentences if you want. That won't be homework. But part 1, you must give me a sentence. The last thing I was thinking about doing is having you guys do a video introduction. Did we talk about that last week? Okay, so you guys know I use Google Classroom. So, because there's many of you, I can't talk to all of you at once. But what I can do is do this. I can make a video introduction. And I want you to practice this on your own. So watch me do this. I have my shouji, right? I'm going to add. I'm going to pick video, record a video. Now watch, I'm going to do this with you guys. Duh. We try to retake. You want to spin around there? Hi, this is Russ, and I'd like to do an introduction. My name is Russ Weatherington. I'm from the United States of America. I'm from the area of Chicago, Illinois. I am living in Taiwan, Taipei, Taiwan. I'm a teacher. I'm married and have a cat. My favorite food in Taiwan is sui jiao, or we call it dumpling. Thank you. That took me about 26 seconds. Guess what your homework is? Additional homework. You're going to give me a video introduction of yourself. I want to know, we've already covered this. We already did it in class, right? I want to know who you are. English or Chinese name, I don't care. Where you're from. Where are you from? You're either going to be from 4 countries in here. And if it's Taiwan, it's going to be Taipei, Taiwan. Remember we talked about that. Or if I'm from Myanmar, or I'm from Japan, or I'm from Indonesia. Right? I want you to identify where you're from. I want you to identify what you do. I'm a student. Where do you go to school? Tell me a little bit about your family. I have 4 people in my family. I have 3 people in my family. I want you to tell me what your favorite food is. Is this hard? Okay, guess what? 介绍, introduction, is the most important thing in English because when you can introduce yourself, every foreigner for you is a friend to talk to. You don't have to be afraid of this. So, guess what? I just did this while we were talking. It's uploaded. Let's look. So I'm going to go to your classroom, and I'm going to go to stream. Now, the stream is a little bit like line group. Did I do that right, class? Refresh. forgive me, I'm using my shoji. That's that. No. Okay, here's the problem. I think the problem is it's loading. I'm pushing the video up with my phone. What's going to happen in a few minutes, we should have that video appear here. It'll appear in the stream. I will give you this in your classwork. Every one of you will give me a video. Simple? We practiced this before. Questions? The more you speak English, the better you get. I think we're done, guys. We've covered a lot of territory. Any questions? Homework. You have 2 homework items. One is to write sentences for me on vocabulary we already covered, Unit 1, Part 1. Number 2 is to give me a video, which will take you about 20 seconds with your phone. Hard? And by the way, only I see the video. Don't worry about it. We said earlier, but we're not, no one else sees that video but Russ. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Happy holiday this weekend. Not holidays, weekend. What's your plans? What will you do this weekend? Okay. Dance. Okay. He's gonna dance. What about you guys? Study? Sleep a little bit more? If the weather's nice, do go outside a little bit, okay? Or work. Some of you may have shopping, right? Guys, get out of here. Or I gotta get out of here. I have to go across the campus. See you later.